Good morning. I've been encouraged by several readings that I need to keep on track with my moral compass for just a minute, because evidently somewhere back in, I don't know, years and years ago, one of my ancestors evidently stole something, and there was a curse placed on my bloodline that we would live in lack for our lives. And I am a generational curse breaker. So I have broken that curse and bringing the generational wealth back into our lives. But the morals that I live by are something that most people don't. And, my motto since I was quite young, do the right thing even when no one's looking. Because, you don't know who's seeing what you're doing out there. But for sure, Spirit, God, the universe, they are seeing what you're doing out there. There's no doubt about it. And that's the people that really judge us. Those are the entities that we need to be seen in. So, my values, my moral compass, the values I have are treat people the way you want to be treated. Not the way they treat you, but the way you want to be treated. If you want kindness, treat them with kindness. If you want hostility, that's what you're going to get if you give it. You can't be hostile to people and still expect them to just want to be a part of what you're going through or what life, just be a part of life with you. And you're doing all this stuff that's really messed up. And the world itself has really lost its path because there are so few people out here now that have morals, that have values about themselves, that work towards something and actually try to be who God wanted them to be, who they were made to be. So we need to assess ourselves and our own moral compass to see what the values are and what those values align with. It's very important for us to have values that actually align with the universe, Spirit, God, whatever it is you believe in as your higher power. We need to have those morals and values within us. Now, I know that I've told you in one of my clips that I got fired from my job last January, and they didn't realize who they were dealing with. I told one person that I was a healer, and they chose not to believe me. That's not my problem. I'm a truth teller. I don't have to be a liar. There's nothing out there that I need to lie about. Nothing. I can be honest to everybody that I come across. Now, I usually don't stop and have conversations with people when I'm just out and about. And usually I have my granddaughter with me whenever I'm out and about. I don't go out without her. She's my little road dog. And I like spending time with her. I like spending time with all my grandkids, and that's what I've been trying to do for the last 2 years. The 2-year-old is the only one that really wants to hang out with Grandma, though. So, she actually would not go with me last week. I was so shocked. She's usually at the door waiting on me, and Thursday when I went to get her last week, she looked at me and turned back to her tablet and barely acknowledged it was even me. I said, you going with Grandma today? And she just kept looking at her tablet. I said, hey, okie doke. She looks at me. I said, you going with Grandma today? And she just kept going back to her dad. I told her mom, I said, she don't want to go, I'm not going to force her. She usually cries when I leave, wanting to go with me again, even when I'm dropping her off. It's hard for me to get out of her house. But that's okay. I accept that, and it's okay for her to not want to go with me. I enjoy her company, but I just do things to get out with her. Now, back to my morals and values. I set them very high for myself. It's not about you. It's about me. And it's about what I want for my life. Everybody's morals and values don't align. They just don't. Because not everybody puts this on top of that. You know, and my family comes first to me. Wrong. God comes first to me. The universe, spirit comes first to me. I try to do what I'm nudged to do, what I'm told to do, what is good for not only me, but for everybody, you know. So I am standing on what I believe in. I have to, because nobody else is going to do it for me. And nobody else is going to do it for you either. Now, you have to decide what your morals are. What code do you want to live your life by? And it can be for status. I don't care about status. Me, personally, I don't care about status. I don't care about everything I have being the best. It's not something I've ever been able to have. And even when I can have it, I do by quality. I just don't try to do it because it's the highest priced item in the store, because that's just not my values and my principles or how I live. Now, I have been sitting at home for 8 months. I'm very discouraged with myself at the moment because I've put on a few pounds sitting around the house doing nothing. I'm not really doing nothing, but I just don't get the exercising that I really truly need, and I really do need. When I was working, I did 12,000 steps a day and no problem. No problem. Up steps, down steps, it didn't matter what I had to do. I did 12 to 16. There were days that I did over 20,000 steps in a day. But I try not to do those. That's just way too many for me. But either way, one of my values is that I want to be healthy. And it's not about being tiny, because when I did lose weight, I lost some weight. And everybody kept saying, you need to put on some weight. You need to put on... No, I don't. No, I don't, because I do it for my health, not to look good. It's not about how good I look. It's about how long I can live and how I can be healthier and be here for my grandkids a little longer, and great grandkids for that, because I've got 3 of those already, and I have 3 great grandsons. Yes, I do. And they are blood. To me, they're blood. It doesn't matter. I just want to be a good person all the way around, though. And I can't tell you how to make your values and morals. You have to decide what you want to be standard for you. My standards are I clean my apartment. I clean up behind myself. I don't leave messes for somebody else to clean up. Yes, that is a value. Nobody thinks it is, but it is. I use the trash cans when they're available. Even when I was smoking, I break my butt off and throw it in the trash and throw the little part that's going to finish burning up on the street. But I put the part that wasn't going to biodegrade in the trash can. I don't know what other people's lives compile of. And just recently, I was watching a reading yesterday, and somebody made the comment that not everybody thinks like you do. And it kind of made me think for a minute, what do you mean they don't think like I do? I analyze shit. I mean, I don't just think about it. I get down to the nitty gritty. I want to know how it works. If I took it apart, can I put it back together? I, I analyze every decision that I make when I'm doing something. And I guess everybody doesn't do that. Everybody just works like a robot and does what they're told. Yeah, not me. I want to know why it's got to be like this. I want to know what can I do to make it better. Can I make it better? Can I do a better job than what I'm doing? You know, I look at me every day and I say, oh, yes, I've got goals, which I do. I have goals. But when I was working, it was, I want to get this much of my work done today. Yeah, I've got till Friday to get all this done, but that's not the point. On Friday, I'm going to get sent home early because I'm going to run out of hours. And there's still going to be tags, pricing tags that need to be put up and need to be something done with them. And they may or may not have given me help. Depends on whether or not they wanted to sacrifice something else for my part of our job. But a daily average was supposed to be like 267 tags in an 8-hour day. And I was doing 700 some days. Because last year when those tariffs were in place, there were 2,000 plus price changes every week. And she wouldn't give me any help till Friday. So I'd do everything I could. And I did it with integrity. Where so many people had not put up price tags whenever they did a reset or something, and then I've got to go through everything and look it up on the phone and decide which display is which one so I can put the right tag on them. But it was important for me to do my job correctly because I have ethics. I want to be that person that does the right thing the first time. You don't have to keep coming to me and telling me what I need to do. I knew what I needed to do. Of course, we want you to do it this way, though. We want you to do this way. Okay, if that's how you want it done, it'll make me go slower, but okay, we will do that. Then I wasn't very well liked at that place. I stood up for myself and for anybody else if it was needed. Because nobody needs to be treated like shit whenever we're out there working our asses off for these people that make billions of dollars. You know, anytime that you're working for a national company, they are making money hand over fist. They don't want to give you any of it, but they want what they want. So you do what they ask. Most people do. And I do what I was asked to do. I even did what I was told to do. That's what got me fired. They told me to go do something. I did it, and then they wrote me up for doing it. Imagine that. But you have to remember, I wasn't very liked at that job. And somebody was in there telling a bunch of lies on me and wanted me gone out of their way. Since then, I believe that they've come to an understanding that the problem was never me. It wasn't me that was causing any of the problems. I was doing my job ethically and authentically because that's what I am. I am a truthful, authentic person. I'm a truth teller by nature. I don't need to lie to people. I don't need to give false information. If it's for me, it's for me. If it's not, it's not. And it's just that simple. You know, I have a line that I won't cross. Other people don't. Anyway, I think I said something about my ancestors stealing stuff. Well, okay, so one of the readings that I heard was that when my ancestors stole this item and did whatever they did, and then we had a curse put on us, right? And so The reading that I heard said, your ancestors are listening because they're going to be reincarnated at some point, and they're going to be brought down to this new earth that we're building and making, and they need to know the right way to live. So that's why I'm teaching on morals and values, because somebody told me they need to learn this so that they won't steal anything, so that they won't have a curse put on us again, because I don't want that for my bloodline. For my bloodline, I want there to be peace and harmony, and do what needs to be done, because that's what we're supposed to do. I'm not greedy. I'm not somebody that just thinks everything belongs to me, unlike some people in this world. But anyway, that's why I'm doing morals and values, because my ancestors need to learn how to put morals into their life, and how to decide what their values are for themselves, because we're not out here to be thieves. We're not supposed to be stealing from people. We are supposed to be giving to people, giving until it hurts, right? Isn't that what God says? Give till it hurts. Well, I give every day. I don't always post every day, but I give every day, because even though I'm not posting, I'm going through stuff. I mean, the attacks haven't been quite so bad in the past week, but I get spiritually attacked almost every day. And yes, there are barriers between me and them. Archangel Michael stands guard over me every day, all day. He is my protective angel. He takes care of me. He makes sure that no harm comes to me. He brings me out of harm easily. And a lot of it's a mental fight for me, because I know that there's somebody fighting on my behalf. And I think it's just absolutely great that somebody's fighting on my behalf for a change, and I'm not the one having to do it. Because for years, I mean, I've had to justify my actions. I've had to do all kinds of things that I really didn't want to do. But it was the right thing to do, you know? I just want people to understand that you decide what your morals and values are, and then it's on you to make them stand out in what you want to make for your life. Your life is yours, and you have to decide how good you want that life to be, because it's not going to come just by popping out. This isn't a pop-up book earth. There are no pop-ups that are going to just boop, there it is. It doesn't happen like that. You have to work for what you earn. And it's always better to earn what you're worth. Nobody ever saw me for my value. They always tried to humble me. Well, I'm a pretty humble person already. I own up to my faults. I don't expect somebody to take a fall for me. I'm going to step forward and I'm going to say, I did that, not them. So please stop getting onto them, because that was something that I made happen. And it's just, I don't want somebody else getting in trouble for me. That's my morals. That's part of my morals and my standards and values. And everybody thinks that I talk wrong. I do. But it's because I don't have a lot of people to talk to. A lot of people just truly don't understand me when we're having a conversation. And I can say that out of all honesty. I know they don't. But have you ever seen the show Scorpion? It's a show where they have a bunch of geniuses on there. And a couple of them just don't have any manners or people skills, should I say. Not manners. But sometimes I don't have people skills to dumb it down for them. My brain thinks so high in everything I do that I literally have to think about it to bring it down a couple of notches, because I never thought about everybody doesn't think like me. I assumed everybody thinks like I do. Everybody has a brain that just doesn't shut off. And it's not because I've got a lot of karma in my life. I don't. I do a lot of what I'm supposed to for a reason. And that's just how I operate in my life. Where am I at on my time? Oh shit, way too long. But I didn't want to do a 20-minute video. I was wanting to do a 5-minute video, but 21 minutes is what it is right now. So I appreciate that everybody comes and watches my page, and I want you to know that I love you, and God loves you, and Spirit and Universe want you to be free from the dictatorships, and they want you to grow in the life that you're supposed to be in. So if you see me out somewhere, I might awaken you, because that's what I'm doing. I'm awakening people right now. That's a story for another day. I love you all. I hope to see you soon. And please take care of yourselves and do you. Don't worry about what other people try to put on you, because this is your world. Make your own world for you.